Hello and welcome to Top of the World. Welcome to the middle of an Arctic storm and early on Sunday morning. I can't believe we're here again. So it's the beginning of the season. I think it's the 6th of January 2023. We're in the middle of this, we're actually on our second day into our first proper Arctic storm, where the snow is deep, the temperatures are cold and the wind is blowing. So I've been out to the shed and plugged in the tractor. I've got to give her a bit of heat this morning to get her going. Yesterday I manhandled this into the factory here. I'm supposed to be on a couple of days rest because I didn't do my back any favours by plasterboarding and then plastering a ceiling in this small bathroom we're working on. So even though my back's been operated on, it has its moments, and certain things working above you, twisting your back while lifting. Anyway, we've done that. We're supposed to be resting. Should I have done this in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November? Yeah. Did I? No. Has this been sat? Has this been shat? It is shite. And it has shat. It shat last year. Right, I hadn't quite finished my login, and reverse gear blew out of this after an accident. Another accident. Do I regularly have accidents on this? Oh, way too many. Not because I'm driving fast, because it's so big and heavy, and my experience on snowmobiles stretches to the last 7 years, period. Right? Why is it so big and heavy, Simon? Well, because it needs to pull. So this is a 2006 Yamaha Viking triple 1000cc wide track. You need power and you need pull. Anyway, the upshot of that is it ain't very good in deep and powdery snow. Once you've got the tracks laid down, it's great. In deep and powdery snow, what you need is speed, something lighter, more powerful, and a lot more skill than I got. That's what you need. So we're lacking in that. Oh yeah. And talking on all those things, right, my condolences to the Block family. Ken Block. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Another great, truly great man taken from us unexpectedly. As soon as I heard, I'm right back to the whole Michael Schumacher thing, and how many times could Ken Block have had a serious accident or died doing what he did, right? No, and then he does it like that. Anyway, really unfortunate. And I just finished watching him build Leah a car, and anyway, gutted. Off track there. Yeah. So I got to have a gearbox apart and find out why I got no reverse gear, because I should already really have run in my logging trails and I haven't, which means we're into deep powdery snow in this. In addition to that, if I've got no reverse gear, I've got no chance. I've got no hope whatsoever. So we're going to strip down the gearbox and find out why I've got no reverse gear, and see how many metal filings and teeth are in there, or just exactly what's happened. So how did I lose reverse gear? I went away with a log trailer that I shouldn't have gone, really, and I was trying to do it to appease somebody else, right? Big mistake. I should just tell everybody to go and jump in a big fucking hole. Anyway, I went a different way, and as a result of going a different way with a really heavy load on board, around the tight corner, it pulled me into a ditch. And anyway, after some kerfuffle, I managed to get the log sled unattached. But what I didn't realise is when I went into the ditch, I had bent the handlebars back onto the tank, and when I turned it to get it out of the ditch, in reverse, the throttle was jammed on the tank and she went screaming backwards into another big pile of snow and blew out reverse gear. So it didn't just stop working, it was a genuine, we're about to have a big accident here, and she blew out reverse gear. I've got to take the gearbox apart, let's get into it. Now, oh dear. Right, well that's not good. That's not good at all. So that's the gearbox housing. Oh my God. Here we go. Look at that. Bad, 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 bad. Right, well, that's got to come off then. Oh dear. How did I not know that was going to be the case? So we can see all the bits of metal and glitter in the bottom of there, and the oil is full of bits of metal. So what do we know? Okay, how does this work? Well, this bunch of levers here, right, operates that, and it's operated by this lever up here. So when you pull it out and move it over, that moves that, which moves all of these, which pulls that up. And what that does is that sits in this big gear here and pulls it out. Okay? And when that's fully locked into place, that pulls that wheel out enough to lock into this wheel, which is the reverse gear. This then sends everything backwards. It allows you to be able to reverse. Now what we can tell is on the front of this cog here, right, it's had a nasty grinding moment on this wheel, which is what all the shavings are. Now whatever happened at that point should be on the reverse side of this. Take that off carefully. Oh, look at that. You can see the reverse side of those teeth. Those two cogs have had a moment somewhere. Now don't lose that spring. See that spring there? What we want to do is make sure that goes back into the hole now whilst I'm filming, and I don't ignore it and think, oh, I'll put that back in a minute. No, put it back in now. Right, put back in that spring. Put that cog back on the way it should be. Stop. There's the hole underneath that cog that that spring goes into. So we slide that back on there. Make sure that spring sits in the hole. So whatever happened between those two cogs, it fired this cog out at such a rate, right, it impacted there, which is the inside of the gearbox housing, and you can see this crack, and this crack goes all the way around. Smashed it. Now, what was the cause of that? Yeah, I don't know what caused it to happen. I know we need a new gearbox housing. Right, we need this plate here. In an ideal world, do we want to replace this gear and this gear? Yeah, we do in an ideal world. I wonder what they cost. The two gears there have had a moment. Right, and they shouldn't have done that, and it's taken the corners off. Is can I manually pull this cog out and engage that gear? Yeah. So how on earth? Hello, it's my future self, and I'm here to say that the video's quite long, and it looks like I've made it look simple, and I've got it all together, and it's going exactly the way I want it to, and everything's hunky-dory. It ain't. It takes quite a turn for the worst, I can tell you. Over and over and over again. So for my normal subscribers, just watch away. If you're here to find out how to fix that grinding noise when you put your Yamaha snowmobile in reverse, you can skip way past 50%, 60% of the way to find out what's really causing the problem. Anyway, off to the live action. Right, gearbox schematics. This is the part that's damaged, smashed around here. Part number 18. This is the reverse gear pinion, and this is the reverse gear, and they're both damaged. So we're going to inquire as to whether these are available and how much they are, and order this, because we can't do anything without this. I don't know if we're 24 hours or 48 hours after I last filmed the gearbox here. All I know is I spent way too many hours in that tractor, and it's still snowing. So what I found out about this is this gearbox cover here that's smashed. Right, the cost of buying that new is more than the cost of the entire gearbox used. And Yamaha have said 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks maybe, if we can get it to you. Right. Okay, so what I did do is not that far south of here actually, we found snowmobile breakers that have the entire gearbox from a 1,500 mile 2006, same year as this Yamaha, so low mileage. It looks brand new, Anyway, so the cost of the entire gearbox and postage from where it is to here is less than just that cover plate. So I've ordered the entire gearbox. In addition to that, the post service here, or just the service here, is, my experience, is diabolical at best. Yeah, at best it's diabolical. Anyway, I rang this guy up and I told him what I wanted. And he said, yeah, no problem. Then he said, I've got to give you postage. And he gave me postage on that, which was very reasonable for the size and the weight of it. And he dispatched it that night. So it is en route. I'm expecting it here tomorrow. Well, today's Wednesday. I'm expecting it here Thursday or Friday. 1 to 3 days, he says. Wow. Miracles do happen and do exist. So I've been here long enough to know that getting deliveries, ordering anything, it's just a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. This is the gearbox. This is the used gearbox taken off another snowmobile from a second-hand dealer, and it's here 48 hours later. That's first. Absolute first. Well, it's well packed. Very well packed. Woohoo! Yeah! Golly. Well, that's what I saw in the pictures. Feels like it's got all the gears inside it. It didn't say it had all the gears inside it. Oh, but I'm really hoping it has. This is amazing. So this whole gearbox, this is the entire gearbox, and I'm hoping all the gears are inside it. This has cost less than just getting the cover. Do I really want to open it up on my machine bed? Not really. But I'm going to. Because we've obviously got a couple of damaged gears which were too expensive to even think about buying. But if this is full of gears as well, well, this is just deal of the century. Oh my God, yes. It's got everything inside it. Everything. Is it cleaned up? No. They've literally just pulled it off its splines and capped it. So this is the part that we want. This is the part that's broken. We can go and clean that up. And then this has got all the shims. This has got everything inside it. So what we've got, I have to look at what we've got there now. This is our damaged gear, and this, and we have everything. That is so cool. We have a complete undamaged gear set. And a chain, so we've got spares now as well. Spare tensioner, marvellous. Right, off to the parts washer. Okay. Clean. Right, I don't think we need this. So it's these two gears here, the reverse gear set. These are the gears that are damaged. And whilst I would have lived with them, I'd have had to clean them up. But these got damaged in whatever happened. And now we can replace them with gears that are not damaged. That's exactly the same, isn't it? Look at that. Nice. Now it's making sure that we get everything lined up on the way in. Drop the make sure we've got that over the top of that brake. And then that washer, and then this C-clip. Okay. Now that's pretty much back together, but if I'm honest, I'm not liking the way that's feeling. And I think before I put all the bodywork back on, I should fill it up with oil and start it and see if it works. Now, I knew this job was coming up. So in preparation, during the summer, I got myself some chain case oil. Red line. And here's an interesting thing. So you always need a funnel with a bit of hose attached. Right, I just happened, because I collect everything, found the right size hose to go over the funnel and in there, making loop. And the reason I prefer that is so that then when you hang it up, and you can hang it up whichever way you like, the residue of whatever was in there, and you can see there's stuff in there, don't run all down your wall. Probably seems obvious, but anyway, pop that in there. Two-stroke petrol. It's not two-stroke, it's four-stroke. But we don't want to be upsetting the pistons. So we give it a bit of fuel. With two-stroke in it. So you've just seen me put all this together and then trying to start this. Well, I've solved the starting problem. That was just getting it running to start with. But I've had this apart 6, 7, 8, 9 times since then, because when I put it all together, finally got this started, put it in reverse, I had the same grinding I had. Anyway, it didn't work. So I took it apart, put it back together, took it apart, checked the schematics, put it back together, took it apart, checked again, put it back together. This went on. And this morning I had to get up and go and shovel snow off roofs and more. Anyway, so now we're 1,400 hours. It's about 24 hours since you last saw it. And I put it together and it's still doing it. So the way the lever mechanism and everything works, when you pull this out, it locks into that wheel. Right, well and truly locks into the wheel. It can't be doing it. There's something else in here. Anyway, I've got no choice now. I have to take the gearbox apart in case there's something I'm missing. So from where we are with assembling everything and the way the washers, everything's exactly right. There's nothing wrong. And I've overly adjusted this to make sure this is pulling this wheel right out. When you put it in reverse, oh, it just grinds. So I haven't reassembled it with the brake and everything each time. I'm just putting the housing on and bolting up the housing and starting it. I mean, it starts straight away now. So there's no issue there, and I can just keep testing it. That's in reverse. The damn beep. Right, anyway, the gearbox. So now what I'm going to do is take the chain tensioner off and take all the cogs out and just check the inner splines in case it isn't actually the way this connects into this cog. Maybe it's a spline in here or in there. I don't know what it is, but something's not right with this, and now I've got to disassemble the entire gearbox. Bloody thing this is. Right. Should give me a loose chain now. Right. Spacer, washer, gears. No, they're all good. Everything's good. There's a lot of... I think I better clean that out. Put that down like that. All the right spaces are in all the right places, all the right springs are in all the right places. There's no damage to the main gearbox housing, there's no damage to anything that's there. And yet this wheel, this cog is failing to engage fully into this one, and it's started to take off the edges, and these were new cogs, new gears. So, there's not many things that you've seen me struggle with. I'm starting to struggle with this, just because all the specifications say this is how it should be assembled, right? And this is how I disassembled it. Now, whatever happened in this accident. And everything else, there's no bending of the frame or bending on any of the gears or the levers. Everything's exactly according to manufacturer specification. And yet, when you reassemble it and put it back together, this gear is not fully engaging. And it's taking the edges off on this, the inside of this. I don't even know if this is making any sense. And yet everything's as it should be. That's that noise! There you go. So, that's bad. And no matter how many times you check it, that's what's happening, and that's taking the edge off all those teeth now. It doesn't fully engage that wheel. And I don't know why. Because if that's fully down, that wheel should be fully engaged, and it isn't. And then you get all that grinding and carrying on. But when it's down there like that, right, it has to be. Okay, let me further investigate this. I very carefully marked the bar in the chain case, right, on the outside, and the corresponding movement on the inside. And when this is fully down, that's fully out. And when that's fully out, that means this cog has to be 100% engaged. It has to be 100% engaged. Now, I've read some bits where this chain seems to be an issue. And of course, we've changed everything in here, except we've changed the two front cogs that appear to be damaged. What we haven't done is changed any of the rear cogs. And whilst we pulled them off, I'm not convinced at all that it's not that reverse gear that's engaging. I'm not. I'm heading down a different route now because we've been into this for a long time, the chain tensioner, not loosening it. So I want to have a look at something else. I do. I want to further inspect what we haven't changed, because we know what we have changed. We know we've changed this, and we've changed that one. What we haven't inspected, whilst we pulled it off, we haven't inspected any of these. Wow, have I got something to show you? Have I got something to show you? Right, that leads me on to then this. Maybe. Right. This is the back cog on the reverse set. Did I inspect the chain? No. But take a look at this. These are all good. They're not bad. And now look at the edge of that one. And then look at them. And then look at that. This cog is turning in this chain, which I've got to tell you, don't feel very good. Whilst it's not bad. But we've got another cog. Let's do a comparison. Right, these are rear cog sets. These. This is the one I've just taken out. And this is damaged here. And this has got no damage. In fact, this is quite damaged. We didn't change this. We're going to change this for this. We are. We're going to put that one on there and take that one away. You see how this chain's not running smooth? Right? It don't feel very smooth. This is a chain that's come out the other gearbox. That one don't do that. So we're going to change the chain as well. Maybe that's where all my problems have been, all the time. Now, it wouldn't be the first time I've made a mistake and been looking in the wrong place, but I had to keep looking. Fixed. Okay, so that was the inner cog and the chain, both destroyed. And yeah, so there you go. So it's just as well we bought. In fact, there goes by the hand of God that I bought an entire gearbox because I needed both front and rear gear sets and the chain casing. Amazing. Right, I'm going to wash my hands, celebrate with a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to put this back together, and then we can go out and test it. But that's it, it's fixed. Right. So, just to recap on that. So that's a damaged chain. Right, which I didn't like the way that was feeling when I took it off. And that's the damaged inner wheel. And it's not just that teeth that's quite obvious when it decides to focus, but actually all the teeth. So there's only one piece, in fact there's two pieces out that entire gearbox that we've not used. So out of that gearbox, we've used the chain, the reverse gear and both reverse gear pinion wheels. We've replaced all of those to make that work. But the offending article, whilst we replace this anyway, the offending articles were that chain and the back wheel. And that's your chain isn't tight enough. That's what it boils down to. Lack of tension on the chain. So in the accident, obviously it popped the chain over this rear wheel, which of course you're not looking for because when it's in situ, it's mostly buried inside the chain. And actually, that grinding noise that I've read so much about, you need a new rear gear pinion and a new chain, and then you want to tension the chain up. What I've done is I've set up the old gearbox to see if I can explain in layman's terms why and why I missed it. You have all the other accessories on top of this. You have this gear here that moves in and out, which locks into this gear here, right? And the corners of both those gears were damaged and are damaged. Right, we can see the corners of those gears damaged. So, what I assumed was, it wasn't kicking out far enough and fully engaging them into this wheel. Right, that assumption was incorrect because the problem lay behind where you can't see. So all these workings, you can't, that all looks fine, and they're all on splines. We took it apart and we checked the splines. We still didn't see anything, did we? Well, now, this all comes down to chain tension. So it's fully locked into this wheel or fully locked into this wheel, right? They're fully locked. This wheel's sat off to the side, right? And it's crucial to the reverse gear pinion. And this is the adjuster, and it moves in and out like that, and tensions and loosens the chain. So it was fully tensioned like that, so I thought, and the chain was so hard you couldn't push the chain. However, it wasn't tensioned enough that this gear could slip in the chain. And once it had slipped in the chain, on the very first incident I'd had, it had taken off all the top of the teeth, the end of the teeth. So now this gear, the teeth are actually shorter than they're originally designed. So there is a plate behind here. I don't know if you can see that plate in there. Let's turn on some more light. This plate here. That's to stop the chain from jumping off of this cog. However, in the incident that happened, right, it reversed itself into a huge snowbank and jammed. And if this wasn't completely tensioned, it was enough for this cog to turn inside the chain, strip the inside of the chain and the cog. And we can see there, these teeth here are all so badly damaged. And therefore, when I got it out, it drove forwards all right, but every time you put it in reverse, this cog is now smaller than it was designed for, and I never tightened the chain up. And therefore, every time you put it in reverse, this cog, because these teeth are stripped in reverse, would jump through the chain, which is now badly damaged. So whilst it would go forwards, the grinding noise that I could hear was not these two cogs not engaging. It was this cog slipping inside the chain, wearing the teeth even further and damaging the chain further. And that's where we've ended up with the situation. So you need to over tighten. Well, you need to tighten your chain according to the manufacturer's specifications. Now, I found all the torque settings online in the service manual. So they're easy to find and easy to download and free to download. And of course, so the end result, what we've ended up with, is a chain that no longer wants to be round because it's damaged. And whilst it doesn't look like it, it's quite damaged inside. And a cog that is now smaller, and that tooth's almost completely missing than it should be. Take them off my machine bed. Right, I'm not going to bore you with putting this all back together because you've already seen me do it once, and I don't need to bore you with showing you how to start it because it's already running. So we're going to put this back together, and then we're going to take it out and... he hates the winter, he does. He's always inside. And we're going to take it out and try it. Well, you'd have already heard that cog slipping in reverse gear. It would slip straight away. So it's fixed. completely fixed. There is a hint of burning, wearing rubber, and there has been since I put this track on. This was this used Miracle track I got. Well, it's actually on one of the videos. But there's a small hint of burning rubber. Anyway, the point about that is that's a complete success. It's ready to go logging now, and that was the aim of the game. Did I learn a lesson? Yeah, look deeper. Don't assume, and as usual, don't listen to anybody else. So it's interesting how I worked that one out. I was actually reading somebody on a forum said they loosened their timing chain, their chain adjustment, and it worked. Well, that's absolute rubbish. Absolute crap. Anyway, the fact that somebody mentioned it made me think about the chain and the rear cogs, which is when I opened it up and found that cog worn out. And so ultimately, the chain tensioner must have been right where it was. When it fired back and locked the rear track, it would have stretched the chain, giving it extra play, allowing that cog to slip initially, and once that damage had been done, then it was done. Now, could I have overcome that? If I'd known what I know now, yeah, I could have tightened the hell out of that chain tensioner and got it back here, and it may have worked temporarily. But ultimately, once you hear that grinding noise, that is the cog in the chain. That's your cog in your chain gone, because your teeth are now too short. So anyway, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate that. I need some more subscribers. I'm desperately trying to get to my 1,000. And yeah, good job. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.